Today, we're breaking down 10 watches Will Smith has been publicly seen wearing. Let's roll the reel. We're opening this list with a watch that didn't just appear on screen, but became a character. Remember Agent J's triangular watch in Men in Black? That was the Hamilton Ventura Quartz, and it became one of cinema's most recognizable timepieces. This design first appeared back in 1957 as one of the world's earliest battery-powered watches. Designer Richard Arbib created that distinctive asymmetrical triangular case that still looks futuristic today, nearly 70 years later. Will Smith wore it throughout the Men in Black franchise. This made him inseparable from his character. What's remarkable is this piece of movie history costs under $900. You can walk into a watch retailer and buy the exact model Will wore while saving Earth from alien invasions. In fact, Hamilton experienced a massive sales boost after those films. Now, we move into Will's everyday luxury choices. When Will Smith isn't playing a character, this is the watch he reaches for. Photographers have captured Will Smith wearing the Rolex Submariner during casual public appearances. This is the classic black ceramic bezel version that's essentially Hollywood's uniform watch. The Submariner doesn't demand attention or make loud statements. It simply exists as the most recognized dive watch on Earth. Countless actors choose it precisely because it represents unquestionable quality without appearing pretentious. It features 300 meters of water resistance, though realistically, Will probably isn't diving to those depths. The watch works equally well at beach vacations as it does at informal dinners or coffee shop meetings. On Will's wrist, it represents someone who's moved past needing to prove anything. Retail price sits around $15,000, although finding one at an authorized dealer without a waiting list is nearly impossible. But Rolex doesn't stop at simplicity. Let's step into serious complication territory. This is Rolex at its most technically ambitious. In early 2022, Will Smith appeared wearing a rose gold Rolex Sky Dweller. It had a chocolate brown dial. This isn't just another Rolex sports watch. The Sky Dweller tracks two separate time zones simultaneously by dial engineering and a patented rotating bezel system. For someone constantly traveling between continents for film productions, international premieres and business ventures, this functionality makes perfect sense. Imagine landing in London and instantly knowing what time it is back at home in California without doing mental calculations. At retail, this watch cost over $39,000, making it one of Rolex's premium offerings. Technical mastery acknowledged. Now let's talk about the watch that changed luxury forever. This is the watch that rewrote the rulebook. Will Smith owns an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. It has a silver grand tapestry dial in the 41mm case size. This watch fundamentally changed the entire luxury watch industry when it was launched in 1972. It proved that high-end timepieces could feature stainless steel cases and integrated bracelets. Before the Royal Oak's arrival, luxury automatically meant precious metals like gold or platinum. Legendary designer Gerald Genter sketched the original design in a single night. He drew inspiration from old-fashioned diving helmets with their visible bolts. Now, watch enthusiasts can easily spot a Royal Oak immediately from across a room. It communicates subtle power without shouting. While retail pricing is pegged at $25,000, secondary market demand has pushed actual selling prices to $75,000. That enormous gap tells you everything about how desperately collectors want this particular design. In fact, some authorized dealers maintain waiting lists measured in years rather than in months. Now, it's time to explore French watchmaking sophistication. Rolling into our sixth spot is the Cartier Drive. During the controversial 2022 Oscars ceremony, Will Smith wore a 41mm Cartier Drive with a black flinke dial. This stainless steel dress watch sits elegantly on a black alligator leather strap. It perfectly embodies Cartier's signature refined aesthetic philosophy. Actually, Cartier launched the Drive collection in 2016 as their gentleman's watch line. It was designed specifically for men who appreciate understated elegance over flashy statement pieces. The cushion-shaped case gives it a unique character without being unnecessarily loud or attention-seeking. Retailing around $6,800, it's notably understated compared to some of Will's other expensive pieces. The watch itself became overshadowed by the evening's dramatic events between Chris and Will's. However, it still reveals Will's genuine appreciation for classic dress watch design. Meanwhile, if you're enjoying this breakdown of celebrity wrists and luxury culture, hit like and subscribe. We break down watches the way Hollywood breaks box office records. Now, let's continue the countdown. Will Smith has been spotted wearing the Ulysse Nardin a couple of times. He owns the marine Torpilleur in 42mm with a striking blue dial. Let's tell you a bit about Ulysse Nardin. This brand has built their entire reputation on marine chronometers and equipment. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, navies around the world relied heavily on their instruments for safe maritime travel. This particular watch is one of them. It has a small second sub-dial and power reserve indicator. With this, it can display horological credentials beyond just telling time. Also, that vibrant blue dial really catches attentions in photographs and makes people stare. You can get it at $8,300 in any watch store around you. Actually, what's particularly interesting here is Will exploring beyond the obvious luxury brands that everyone automatically recognizes. We're used to seeing celebrities with brands like Rolex or Patek Philippe. It shows Will appreciates watchmaking stories and brand histories, not just expensive price tags. Since we've explored the marine heritage a bit, can we discuss accessible Swiss excellence? Up next is the Tudor Black Bay. Tudor operates as Rolex's sister brand, delivering exceptional Swiss quality at affordable prices. The Black Bay has earned legitimate modern classic status on its own merit since launching in 2012. It offers similar vintage-inspired aesthetics to the famous Submariner. This is without the frustrating waiting list or required purchase history at authorized dealers. You can actually walk into a Tudor retailer and purchase one the same day in most cases. What's genuinely fascinating is someone worth hundreds of millions of dollars deliberately choosing a watch under $4,000. This isn't about budget shopping or saving money. It's more of recognizing excellent watchmaking craftsmanship regardless of the price range or brand prestige. Now let's enter the legendary racing heritage territory. Are you ready? The Fresh Prince to Fast Lane watch. Early in his career, Will Smith was frequently seen wearing Tag Heuer Monaco chronograph in blue. This distinctive square case watch gained permanent iconic status when Steve McQueen wore it in the 1971 motorsport film Le Mans. Originally launched in 1969, the Monaco remains instantly recognizable over 5 decades later. That bold square case was genuinely radical at the time when round watches completely dominated the market. Current retail pricing is at $6,750, making it relatively accessible compared to Royal Oaks or complicated Rolex models. By choosing Monaco, Will Smith connects himself to both motorsport heritage and classic Hollywood history. Now let's discuss Will's film costume that became reality. The Piaget Polo 45. Will Smith wore the Piaget Polo 45 in the 2015 film Focus and clearly liked it enough to wear it in real life. Piaget built their prestigious reputation on ultra-thin movements and sophisticated design throughout their long history. The watch shows Will venturing beyond the obvious celebrity choices that every other star naturally gravitates toward. While many famous actors stick exclusively to Rolex, Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe, Will explores brands like Piaget that offer different design philosophies. Seems he's building a genuine collection based on personal preference and actual appreciation, rather than following hype or celebrity trends. And guess what our final watch represents? It's the red carpet loudspeaker. Finally, we have the Hublot Ultra Thin. When Will Smith wants attention, he doesn't whisper. He's been photographed wearing the Hublot classic models at events and appearances. While Hublot is often known for bold designs, the classic Fusion line takes a completely different approach. This watch has a slim profile that slides easily under dress shirt cuffs. For Will, this represents another facet of his collecting personality. He's not locked into one style or aesthetic. He owns bold pieces like the Royal Oak and subtle pieces like this Hublot. That versatility shows sophisticated understanding of when different watches work best. The classic Fusion sits comfortably in that space between casual and formal, so it's incredibly wearable for someone with Will's varied lifestyle. More like the watch that doesn't compete with what you're wearing, rather it simply complements everything perfectly. So, what does your watch reveal about your values and priorities? Let's get talking in the comments. Now, if you want a different collecting approach, check out our next video on Paul Allen's watch collection. You'll discover how an extraordinarily successful person views watches from a fascinating angle. See you there.